Zen is not a club that requires shaved heads, cavernous monasteries, or a vow of silence. Zen is a way of seeing clearly what is already true. That ordinary life, your job, your family, your worries, your meals, your commute, your bed, can become a teacher if you let it. You don't need to renounce your work, your friends, or your daily routine to practice. You can begin right now, in the world you inhabit as you are. The door is open, and it opens from where you stand. Why this chapter begins with a simple claim is not because Zen is easy, nor because monks have nothing useful to teach. It is because the deepest Zen teaching is often the simplest. You don't have to abandon your life to discover it. The practice is not a retreat from life. It is a way to bring life to its fuller truth. If you are reading this book as a layperson, someone who works, loves, cares for others, and occasionally loses patience, this chapter is written for you. The questions you face, the frustrations you feel, the longing for steadiness. These are exactly the kinds of things Zen can meet with. What Zen is, in plain terms. Zen is not a theory to argue about, a system to memorize, or a spiritual achievement to brag about. Zen is a direct, practical way to wake up to the present moment. It is about training the mind so that you can stay with what is happening rather than constantly running away from it. In practice, Zen is about seeing clearly what is happening without coloring it with fear, judgment, or craving. Returning again and again to the present moment, no matter how familiar or how boring or how painful it may seem. Resting in a posture of open inquiry, not in denial or in escape. Engaging life with awake attention, so ordinary actions become meaningful and doors where you least expect them. The core idea, often summarized as no self, can sound daunting. For lay practitioners, it helps to see this as a practical invitation. Stop clinging to a fixed idea of who you are, and you might discover that your life has more space, less reactivity, and more compassion than you realized. Not a new personality, but a more honest, less reactive way of being in the world. This isn't about destroying yourself. It's about discovering a kind of freedom in what's happening here and now. Zen for lay people is about integration, not withdrawal. You don't need to become a monk to practice. The practice can infuse your conversations with patience, your work with steadiness, and your sleep with a sense of rest that isn't dependent on outside circumstances. It is, in essence, the art of being present without making your presence fragile. A few myths and how this book answers them. Myth 1. Zen is only for monks or mystics. Truth. Zen begins where you are. The monk's life offers certain kinds of discipline, but its true gift is not exclusivity, it is clarity. Lay life supplies a rich field for practice. A busy job, children or elders to care for, a home to maintain, a community to serve. Zen's tools, mindful breathing, present-mensed attention, gentle inquiry, are designed to be used in these very settings. Myth 2. You must empty your mind of thoughts to practice. Truth. The mind will think. Aware practice isn't about erasing thoughts. It's about not overreacting to them. Thoughts are like birds flying through the sky of awareness. You don't have to chase them or shoo them away. You can let them come and go while you rest your attention on the present moment. Myth 3. Enlightenment is a distant, exclusive achievement. Truth. Enlightenment, in Zen, is often described as a sudden awakening that gradually ripens into daily life. You don't earn it by escaping the world. You earn it by meeting the world, its noise, its routine, its tenderness, with a steadier mind. Myth 4. Zen means quieting everything down so you never feel anything. Truth. Zen offers a more honest relationship with feeling. You feel, but you don't get swept away. You learn to ride the wave of emotion rather than letting the wave carry you away. Myth 5. If you're not a monk, you're not doing Zen properly. Truth. The opposite is closer to the mark. The practice that truly honors Zen is the one that survives in the noise of ordinary life. On the bus, in the kitchen, at the desk, in the middle of a difficult conversation. The practice of Zen for a lay life. The essence of training is the simple art of showing up. This showing up is not dramatic. It is, often, ordinary. Opening your eyes in the morning, placing your feet on the floor, taking a breath, and choosing to meet the day with a little more attention than yesterday. The practice is to be present to whatever is happening, and to do so with kindness, toward yourself and toward others. There are two practical lanes in which lay Zen often travels. The seat and breath lane, short, regular periods of sitting meditation that anchor attention and calm the nervous system. The action lane, bringing mindful awareness to ordinary tasks, cooking, cleaning, walking, listening, doing one thing at a time. Both lanes matter, and you don't have to ride them perfectly to gain benefit. The goal is progress, not perfection. A few minutes a day, anchored in breath and posture, can gradually change your relationship with stress and with the habits that trap you in your own mind. Getting started, a practical, friendly approach. If you're unfamiliar with meditation, start small. The goal is consistency, not intensity. A few minutes a day, more if you can manage it, is a good beginning. Here is a simple, straightforward path. Time and place. Choose a quiet space for a few minutes. It could be a corner in your living room, a chair by the kitchen window, or even a seat on a bus if needed. The key is consistency. A regular time each day helps form a habit. Posture. Sit with your back upright, but not rigid. Your neck is long, shoulders relaxed. If you sit on a cushion on the floor, you can sit cross-legged or kneel. If you sit in a chair, plant your feet flat on the ground, keep your back straight, and rest your hands on your lap or thighs. Breath as anchor. Close your eyes gently or soften your gaze. Begin by noticing the breath. Don't try to control it. Let it be natural. Feel the air come in and go out. If you're new to this, you might count breaths. In for 1, out for 1. After 10, start again at 1. If your mind wanders, that's fine. Gently return to counting or to the sensation of the breath. Duration, start with 5 minutes. As it becomes easier, extend to 10, 15, or 20 minutes. If you miss a day, simply begin again the next day. The practice is about returning, not perfecting. Gentle curiosity. During the session, you may notice thoughts, feelings, or physical sensations. Rather than wrestling with them or trying to suppress them, acknowledge their presence briefly and then gently return to the breath. In Zen terms, you might say, acknowledge, don't cling, return. A simple version for busy days. Some days are crowded with calls, emails, and reminders. You can still practice in a way that respects the spirit of Zen. The 3-breath reset. When you feel overwhelmed, take 3 slow breaths, letting your shoulders drop a little and your jaw unclench. Tell yourself, now. Then continue with your activity. The one-task discipline. Do one thing at a time, fully. If you're reading a report, read it. When you reach the end, close the document and notice how your body feels. Then take a breath. Then move to the next task. The walking moment. If you're walking to a meeting, walk with awareness of each step. Feel the ground under your feet, the rhythm of your pace, the air on your skin. You don't have to solve anything during the walk. You simply walk and arrive. Zazen basics for the lay practitioner. Zazen is the traditional sitting meditation in Zen practice. There are many variations, but for a layperson, a practical, approachable form is best. Here are the essentials in a plain-speaking way. The seat. Sit with your spine erect, but not stiff. If you sit on a chair, plant your feet flat on the floor and sit near the edge of the seat so you engage your core slightly. If you sit on a cushion, a simple cross-legged posture works. But if that is uncomfortable, the chair is perfectly acceptable. The hands. Place your hands in your lap, with the right palm resting in the left and the thumbs lightly touching. This mudra is not magical. It's a cue to bring attention inward, a tangible reminder to settle. The breath is your compass. Breathe through the nose if possible. Some prefer the belly breathing, letting the abdomen expand on the inhale and soften on the exhale. Do not force the breath, simply observe it. The gaze, either gently close the eyes or keep a soft downward gaze about a meter ahead. The point is not to create a looking away from life, but to reduce visual distraction so you can listen inward. The counting or the no-object practice. You can choose one of two paths. Counting breaths, 1 on the inhale, 2 on the exhale, up to 10, then restart, gives you a stable anchor. The no-object approach, shikantaza, uses no counting. You simply sit and let experience arise and pass. If thoughts arise, you note them briefly and return to the breath or the posture. The end with a soft bow or a few calm breaths and resume your day slowly. Acknowledge the practice as a seed planted, not a finished fruit. What to do with the mind that won't quiet down? A common complaint is, my mind won't stop. How can this be Zen? The healthier question is not whether the mind quiets, but how you relate to it. A noisy mind is not a problem to be solved by force. It is a signal that you are still refining your relationship with living. Instead of fighting the noise, you can name what you notice. Thoughts are here. Body is tense. This labeling helps create distance from the immediacy of emotion or impulse. Return to the anchor, eyes or breath. The anchor is not a prison. It is a temporary resting place you return to when your attention drifts. Be compassionate with yourself. Friction is normal. The practice grows as you meet your own difficulty with patience rather than self-judgment. Imagine you are guiding a friend who is learning to walk in a new city. You would be gentle, present, and encouraging. Do the same for yourself. In daily life, making Zen practical. The true strength of Zen for lay practitioners is that it isn't a separate activity, it's a way of living. Here are concrete ways to integrate practice into ordinary life. In the kitchen, when washing dishes, feel the water on your hands, the weight of the plate, the scent of soap. Let each movement be a small act of care. If a thought arises about the week ahead, notice it and return to the feel of the dishcloth in your hand. In the office or at the shop floor, listen more than you speak during conversations. Before responding, take a breath, consider your words, and aim for clarity rather than quick wins. This doesn't slow you down, it refines your efficiency. In parenting or caregiving, practice moments of presence with your child or elder. Even a few seconds of eye contact and a smile can become a seed of serenity in a tense moment. In conflict, when someone provokes you, pause. Acknowledge the impulse to react. Then choose a response that aligns with your better self. You may not win every argument, but you are choosing to not lose your center. In rest and sleep, acknowledge the day's events as they fade. A gentle body scan or a final few breaths before sleep can help you rest with less fear and more acceptance. The obstacles you'll meet and how to meet them. No practice is without obstacles, and Zen is honest about this. Here are common difficulties and practical ways to work with them. Restlessness. It's normal to feel restless at first. Use short, frequent sessions to build the habit. Practice with the breath, noticing the impulse to move and choosing to stay with the breath for a few moments more before gently releasing. Drowsiness. If you fall asleep during practice, it means your body needed rest more than you needed meditation at that moment. Try a slightly shorter session, a more alert posture, or practice at a time when you are less sleepy. You can also open your eyes lightly every few minutes to re-engage. Discomfort. If the posture is uncomfortable, adjust gently. Shorter sessions with a more supportive posture are better than pushing through pain. Comfort is not a betrayal of practice. It's a necessary condition for sustainable attention. Frustration with progress. Zen is not a race. It's a slow, patient cultivation. If progress feels invisible, keep a simple record. A few lines about what you noticed during the day, any moments of stillness, any times you were able to respond rather than react. Small notes accumulate into a larger change over time. The teacher, the Sangha, and the open path. In traditional Zen, a teacher and a community, the Sangha, play important roles. They serve as mirrors. They show your blind spots, invite you to deepen, and provide encouragement when you wobble. In lay life, the teacher may be a meditation instructor, a friend who practices with sincerity, or a mentor who embodies steadiness in daily life. The Sangha could be an online group, a local meditation circle, or a few friends who practice together. If you don't have a formal teacher or group, you can still practice. The path remains accessible. The invitation is to seek support when you feel stuck and to share your practice honestly with others who are willing to listen. The spirit of practice, kindness, and clarity. Two qualities best describe the lay Zen practitioner: kindness and clarity. Kindness is the steady presence that allows others to be as they are, including yourself. Clarity is the honest seeing of things as they are, without adding layers of fear, wishful thinking, or self-importance. The intertwining of these two qualities creates a life that is both compassionate and sane. A short reading for reflection. Take a moment to sit, breathe, and consider this simple prompt. What would it mean to treat this day as if you were meeting someone you love very much, someone you want to understand deeply? How might your choices, big and small, change if you approach them with that intention? The answer is not a grand revelation, but a quiet invitation to soften, listen, and respond with care. A practical plan for the next 2 weeks. Week 1. Establish the habit. Practice 5 minutes each morning after waking, using a gentle breath-counting method. Choose one daily task to bring mindful attention to, e.g., brushing teeth, cooking, or showering. Week 2. Expand and deepen. Increase to 10 minutes of sitting once a day if comfortable. Add a second shorter session if possible. Introduce a second anchor for daily life, a brief pause before responding in conversation, even if just a few seconds. Begin to notice your reactions to common triggers, stress at work, a conflict at home, and practice a breath before speaking. The end of Chapter 1. A doorway, not a finish line. If you take away one message from this chapter, let it be this: you do not need to become someone else to begin. Zen is a way of waking up to the life you already have, the people you love, the work you do, the body that carries you, the mind that speaks and sometimes stumbles. It is a way of practicing a more spacious, attentive, and kind version of yourself day by day. As you close this chapter, consider this invitation. Try a brief practice today. Sit, breathe, and simply be with your first, ordinary experience. Perhaps the sound of the air conditioning, the texture of your clothes against your skin, or the way your breath moves in and out. Do not judge what you notice. Do not chase a miracle. Just allow the moment to be. In that allowance, you may discover that you are not separate from the practice you seek. You are already part of it. If you are ready, turn the page and begin again with the next gentle steps. You don't need monks, caves, or a distant mountain. You already carry the doorway in your own everyday life. Zen can meet you there, in your kitchen, your office, your bed, your morning coffee, and your quiet evenings. The practice is simple, and the promise is human. Steadiness in a restless world, clarity in a confused mind, and kindness that can begin with you and ripple outward to touch others. End of Chapter 1. You don't need to be monk. May your days be a little lighter, your breath a little deeper, and your heart a bit more at ease as you walk this path of Zen, one ordinary moment at a time.